I look at my life, and I'm sure my life is no different from your life, I can see from when I was a little girl that Satan wanted to take me out. You know, believe it or not, I come from a long line of farmers in Zimbabwe. My dad had about 12 brothers, and they each had a farm in Zimbabwe. And so we used to go and spend holidays on our uncles' and aunties' farms. One time I was on a farm, I was 6 years old, and I ate a green apple. And I don't know what it did, but was in excruciating pain. So my auntie called my mom and said, what should I do with Beverly? And she said, you put her in the car, and even if you've got to drive through the night, you don't go to a farm hospital, you go to a city hospital. So I was laying in the back of the car the whole night in agony. When I got to the hospital, all I can remember is saying to the doctor, please don't let me die. And on the operating theater, my appendix burst, and apparently I did die, but obviously not for long, because here I am today. I'm still here, but nevertheless, that was the first time the devil tried to take me out. The second time was when we moved from Zimbabwe to South Africa, and we went to Cape Town, and I loved the beach, and we went as a family to the beach, and I think it was just my mom and my brother and my sister, and we went to the beach, and I remember I was 7 years old, and I had a full bathing suit on, and I had a little blonde bob, and the beach superintendent called me into his office that day, and I just went. I didn't tell anywhere I was going, because he just had come into my office, so I obeyed and went into his office. Well, that day could have altered and changed my life forever. He did things he shouldn't have done to me as a little 7-year-old girl. But you know, there's something that God must have put something inside me, because I made a decision that day that not one moment was going to steal the rest of my life, and I'm not going to let any man steal my destiny. And I just put my little costume on and I walked out, and I never told my mother, I never told my brother, I never told my sister. To this day, my mom went to glory. She never knew what happened to me in that little office that day, because I made a quality decision. I was not going to let anyone steal my destiny. Only God could do what he wanted to do in my life. And that's for you too, family. And then when we moved, we were in Cape Town. I loved it. I was doing so great. I was doing well at netball. I was in the first team, and I was becoming the captain and the vice captain. And then my parents were having marriage problems, and they decided to leave Cape Town. I was devastated. I was in a community. I was in a support group. I had friends. I was loving life, and we left. We left and we went to Durban, and in my heart I really had to forgive my mom and dad. And then after we moved to Durban, after that they got divorced anyway. My sister said she used to remember that I used to climb into her bed at night and just crying because my parents were getting divorced. But they did get divorced, and it wasn't long after that, about 3 years, that my brother got leukemia. He was my only brother, 4 years younger than me. He was tall, he was blonde, he was handsome, and he was so clever. And he got leukemia. And we as a family didn't understand the word of faith and the word of healing as we do today. And so we didn't know how to believe God. And so we watched my brother die. It took 3 painful, agonizing years. But on his deathbed, he told my sister, he said, Brandy, I've seen Jesus and I want to go and be with him. So I know that he has won the ultimate prize and he's with the Lord Jesus Christ. But I'm showing you a family in life. No one has a perfect life. But I guess one of the most difficult times in my life was when we went in the ministry. Oh, I thought when we went in the ministry, pastors, you will understand. You think everyone is going to love you, going to think that you're wonderful, they're going to embrace you, they're going to help you, they're going to be there for you, and you just kind of give your whole life to your people and to ministers. Well, the first 15 years of our life as in ministry was the most difficult years of ministry. We had a very powerful man come against us. He tried to discredit us locally and overseas, and I personally thought we had joined the mafia, not the ministry. And I kept on saying to my husband, honey, if I can just know somebody can take him and send him to glory early, then it'll be out the way. And my husband was so kind. He said, Bev, I want to teach you that you need to forgive. And so, so my husband taught me how to forgive. And so for 15 years, we had to make a conscious effort to forgive this person. And then, I'm a person who I'm all in. I don't know what, half measures is not in my DNA. I'm all in or I'm nothing. And so we would give pastors, as we do today, areas to pastor. This one couple came to us many years ago and said, Pastor Theo and Bev, we would like to take you for lunch or dinner. We went, and of course, I'm in love with these people. I love them. I've given them our lives and given them our people to pastor. And then they told us that day they were going to start a church right in the area that we had asked them to pastor people. Now, you know that's not right. That's plain and simple not right, family. Where's integrity? But nevertheless, they did it. It broke my heart. I was heartbroken. I remember I was praying to God. I was so heartbroken these people would steal our sheep that I said to God, please, if you're too busy, send me an angel. I just want to see an angel. Can they not just come and talk to me? One night I got out of bed. I was weeping, and I was walking to go to the loo, and I saw an angel. This angel was coming closer and closer, dressed in white. And then I realized it was me in the mirror. So far, that's the only angel I've seen besides my husband. But then my husband had a dream from heaven. It was a dream from heaven. But only he had the dream from heaven. And the dream was that we had to expand the ministry to the United States of America. Now, I didn't want to go. I did not want to leave my church. I did not want to leave South Africa. I did not want to leave our people. I did not want to leave our staff. I did not want to leave my housekeeper. And I battled with God. And I said, God, please change my heart. I want to be obedient. Has anyone ever been there? God says, do something, but you don't really want to do it, but you want to be obedient? Or is it just me? And so then I went before the Lord and I said, Lord, please change my heart. And he did. And he gave me a love for San Antonio. But the first year of our lives, I was in San Antonio. I wept for the whole first year. I felt alone. We didn't have any friends. We didn't have any church. We were trying to get our girls settled. So it was a very difficult year. Of course, now we've been there for 17 years and we're established. And I believe that we have the best of both worlds. I get to be with this family and I get to be with that family. So I'm just praising the Lord. But when we were there just a few years, straight after, about 2 years after that, my mom, who's my best friend, my coach, my mentor, my cheerleader, she's the most amazing woman any mother, any child could ever have. In fact, if you ever met her, you know she was a special, special person. In fact, she was like Maggie Thatcher. She could rule the world. Very strict, very straight, and she would tell you like it is. But I liked her. And we got on so well. And then she got cancer and went home to be with the Lord. So if I look back on my life, it hasn't always been a bed of roses, but I made a quality decision early on in my life that I was not going to allow circumstances to rule my life. I was not going to allow painful experiences to keep me stuck, and I was going to not allow Satan to steal my joy. Because Satan wants to steal your destiny. He wants to steal the joy that God has given you. And he wants to steal what God's plan and purpose is for your life. And so it is Satan who comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. Don't be deceived. Sickness is not from God. Unhappiness is not from God. Divorce is not from God. The difficulties that we go through, unless it's our own unwise choices that we've made is in a direct attack of the evil one. When we recognize it's an attack of the evil one, then we can know we can suit up, put on our armor, pick up our shield and our sword of the Spirit, and we can quench every fiery dart of the wicked one, and we can go from glory to glory, and we can go from faith to faith, and we can fulfill our destiny, and we can have a joyful life in the meantime.
Thank you for watching Dr. Bev's YouTube channel. We will continue to offer dynamic and uplifting highlights from Dr. Bev's messages. Please take the time to like and share the videos. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Keep watching the Dr. Beverley Wolmarans YouTube channel.